Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out today's video. So I'm actually going to start a series of videos of how I teach myself to do new strategies. The last time I competed in Worlds, there were multiple months I had 100% hit rate. The last time I played in the Mobile Open, in the playoffs, I had 100% hit rate. And I had a lot of questions from teammates and friends about how I learned to do these strategies. So today, I'm going to start a series of videos showing you how I teach myself how to do different Clash of Clans strategies. And the first strategy we're going to start with is Electro Dragons. Okay, so the first step in this process is to copy a bunch of really common Legend League bases and understand what works against them, what techniques work against these bases, and how to execute those techniques at a high level. So here we have a very common box base, and I decided to snipe the Town Hall with a couple of E-Drags. Now normally, in the past, I'd only want to use one or maybe two E-Drags to do this. This particular base, because of the Rage Tower, I felt like I needed three there. There was a lot going on. I think maybe a better E-Drag player wouldn't need three, but anyway. And the sweepers are facing the 7 o'clock, so I decided to bring the dragons in through the 10:30 to 12 side. I would say normally most people want to go through the eagle as soon as possible, and I'm not going to argue with that, but for this particular orientation of base, this is what worked the most consistent for me. So everything in this is meant to be a learning process. So there's a lot of things that I'm trying to pick up here. Nothing is going to be perfect this early on. It's the very first training session for Town Hall 15 Electro Dragons, and the learning curve is a little bit tough, but the more I practice, the better I get, and this is the best way to practice. And copying common Legend League bases like this, learning how to triple them, gives me a good floor of triples to work with when I'm in Legend League to find success. So, alright, so that's going to do it for this base. Let's go ahead and take a look at another base. Okay, looking at this next base, this was a very tough base to use Electro Dragons on. Both sweepers facing the Town Hall. I tried going back end many times. I tried going front end right at the Town Hall. Nothing really worked. And then I realized there was a lot of flinger value over at 630. And the flinger is such a powerful siege machine that if there's ever flinger value, you almost have to take it because it gives you such an advantage in the attack. But what this also does is it gives me a really nice funnel to push the E-Drags through the 7 to 830 side. And then we move our way through the base with the heroes again running outside, because my goal with the E-Drags is to have them clear out the structures in the core so the king and queen don't have to go in there to take care of them for a lot of reasons. One, I don't want them pulling the CC, but two, I'm not bringing any wall breakers, so it's kind of a pain for the heroes to get through all of that. But anyway, so the dragons are pushing through, and eventually the heroes are going to come all the way around for the Town Hall. And the reason I'm showing you this attack in particular is I want to talk about how you could say, well, why don't you just crack all the common bases and you'll be good at Legends? And you're not wrong. You could just crack all the common bases, but then you're going to run across bases you've never seen before and you won't know how to triple them. And the reason that that's such a big deal, right, is I'm doing this because I want to learn how to dissect a base. When I see it, I know what to do with whatever strategy I have. And I'm going to show you an example of that right now, because even though I triple this base and it's very close, and I tripled it a lot of times, I've practiced this base many times, probably 10 times before I actually tripled it, but then every triple I got after, all of them were close. Right? So eventually I was like, okay, I'm just either I don't have the brain cells for this, or I'm missing something, and I'll come back to it later. But I end up running into this base in Legend League, and I'm going to show that to you next. Okay, here we are looking at almost an identical base, only this time we're live in Legend League. And I was considering the flinger, and I'm like, wait a second, there's an expo in the compartments where I'd want to use my flinger like I did on the practice raid. But because the sweepers are not facing the Town Hall, they're facing the 7 o'clock eagle-ish area, I decide to use the flinger at the 3 o'clock corner anyway. And what that's going to do is it's going to cut me a funnel, but it's also going to get rid of that air defense, which is pretty nice. So here we go, the flinger's kind of doing its thing. It's going to start working through. I got to be patient. And one thing I've noticed is that E-Drags work so fast that you could spend a minute just watching the flinger kind of carve up a funnel for you, similar to when you use a Warden Walk, and you're not going to run into a lot of time issues. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna let the flinger do its work here, and then as soon as that air defense goes down, we can start considering our funnel. So here I've got the baby drag going in, and it's going to take care of the funnel for me on that side. I'm going to pre-rage and send all the dragons in. The reason I do that is because of the queen there, but also because I want to chain any of the Teslas that pop up there, and I could just freeze the town hall in scatters, work our way through, end up raging over the town hall again, and then I have my heroes. My queen cut the funnel next to the E-drags, and I have the king in front of her to tank. Of course, she finds the 2 expos. It's how it is. Like when you pop a hero ability, there's guaranteed to be giant bombs. It's just the law of physics. But anyway, so I'm just freezing up the core because again, I want the core to go down so my heroes don't have to deal with it. There's always traps, yada yada. There's a lot in the core you just don't want to deal with. But the bottom pack E-drags kind of wanders away from the eagle, which is really unfortunate because that eagle does so much damage. And my king's still going around. The RC faces off with the other RC, the enemy RC, but my queen's beating the wall to go in for the eagle, which is pretty nice. And those Electro dragons that broke off from the core are actually tanking that single target inferno for my RC, which is also very nice. And it gave my king a chance to break into that compartment with his yak to kill the inferno tower, and we're gonna get a triple. So okay, that's gonna do it for this raid, and I don't think I'm gonna narrate anymore. The rest of these are just gonna be gameplay, and the upcoming videos are actually gonna be focused on center town halls. There'll be another video about box bases and another video about diamond bases, so look forward to those. Those will probably have a lot more commentary than this, but yeah, thank you for checking out today's video, and enjoy these replays.